Hello, my name is Jay, and welcome back to my Tech Vault. And today we have some really promising information about Intel's integrated graphics. Now, obviously, you can take this with a grain of salt, but what this really means and what this is a really good indicator for is the Intel X to the E, which is basically Intel's graphics, discrete graphics they're planning on releasing. What this really shows, though, is this leak, is it allows us to see what we can expect for that, but it also shows that Intel can put some pretty impressive performance in their integrated graphics, and that they've been pretty much holding out on us. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to talk about this, kind of explain what it is, also go through and explain, its importance, and then also talk about its implications for the discrete graphics, because right now there's only one company that can offer a processor that has both integrated graphics and of course the processor itself that is actually decent, that actually can play a couple games. I believe the Ryzen 2400G has a 1030 equivalent, or GeForce GT 1030 equivalent of performance, as well as the processor for a relatively cheap price. So really right now AMD is the only one that can do it. Obviously Intel did do a partnership with AMD for their NUCs, I believe, but it's pretty much right now AMD is the only player in that ballpark, and they're making some good bank off of that. So what I'm going to do today is talk about Intel's offering. This is a benchmark on an unreleased chip, but we do know that these are, I believe, the Intel 940 graphics, which compared to right now with an i5 8250U, that has the Intel Graphics 620. This is supposed to be a much higher model, which obviously performs better in synthetic benchmarks. Now, obviously, this is synthetic benchmarks, and this is just a leak that we have, so it's not necessarily going to be any indicator of how well it plays in games, but it's most likely. So what really this comes down to is the fact that a lot of this stuff, especially when AMD released these processors, their integrated graphics processors, they have the Vega 8 that's in the Ryzen 3, you have the Vega 11, which is in the Ryzen 5, but what this integrated graphics is really supposed to compete with is Vega 10, which is in the mobile processors in the Ryzen 2700U, which is supposed to be, of course, AMD's mobile Ryzen 7. And this processor, of course, is going to be something that these kind of trade blows. And obviously this is going to be slightly less powerful than a GT 1030 from NVIDIA, and of course it's coupled processor, but it's going to of course be integrated, and it's probably going to come in a much cheaper price as well. So the implications for the discrete graphics is obviously Intel is trying to release them in the year 2020. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on in 2020. DDR5, we got a long list. We're no longer going to be on the AM4 socket. There's pretty much a long list of what's going to be going on in 2020. It's going to be an interesting year. And then we have a presidential election, too, that's in the United States. So it's going to be a complete interesting year. But for what's really, making me excited, I guess, is the fact that Intel, being their first look at something that's supposed to have much higher graphics performance, they've substantially doubled what they had in the previous graphics. They've doubled it for their integrated graphics, and we're really starting to take a look and say, well, hey, Intel has really now been able to come to the game and actually produce something that's competitive to AMD, and AMD's been doing this, of course, on their processors for a bit now. Now we've got the 2000s, we had the 2000 series, and I think we have 3000 integrated graphics processors as well coming out soon. I have a feeling we're going to see them soon. So now that both Intel can produce good graphics and good processors, AMD is also producing graphics and processors. It's making me pretty excited to see what they come out, and that will also, I guess, support some competition between the two companies, and therefore we might actually get something a lot better than we originally thought. As for the discrete graphics, this is a really good indicator because competing with what AMD has pretty well on its first ever, I will say first ever decent integrated graphics, competing with what AMD has, which they've dedicated as kind of like gaming graphics. I would say it's a pretty strong first attempt, and if that's any indicator of what we're going to see in 2020 when we have discrete graphics, I have a feeling we're going to have not only 3 good players in the graphics party, but I have a feeling Intel will definitely come to the plate a lot more than AMD, or maybe they'll just come fit right in the middle. I definitely do expect whatever is the thing, or whatever is out, whatever like hardware level, we'll just say like the 3080 Ti, or if the 2080 Ti is still out there, I have a feeling Intel's going to come out right above that, and so we're going to have a much. I have a feeling when Intel gets in the party, it's going to be three people now that are going to be pushing the market upwards. So I have a feeling it's going to be an interesting party then. But thank you very much for watching. I'm sorry I'm still a little sick, and obviously that's going to be heard in my voice. But I really did want to talk about this. It's really interesting. It does kind of mean a lot, especially when you have double the performance over the previous generation, and definitely something that competes with AMD. It's really exciting to see. But as always, thank you very much for watching. Check out my channel for other cool tech-related news, reviews, builds, etc. And as I said, thank you for watching. Goodbye.